Humans didn't hunt dodos to extinction. Something far worse happened. The dodo's extinction story isn't what you think. For generations, we've been fed a simplified narrative. Clumsy, defenseless birds met hungry Dutch sailors, and, predictably, the dodos lost. But this comfortable tale of straightforward overhunting masks a far more insidious and relevant truth about how ecosystems collapse. When Portuguese sailors first spotted dodos on Mauritius around 1598, they found a bird perfectly adapted to its island paradise. These flightless relatives of pigeons had evolved in splendid isolation for millions of years. With no natural predators, dodos nested on the ground, laid single eggs, and took their time raising chicks. They were ecological perfection till they weren't. Yes, sailors killed dodos for food. But here's the critical fact that changes everything. The direct hunting was relatively limited. Ships stopped at Mauritius infrequently, and sailors' journals suggest dodo meat was tough and unpalatable, earning it the nickname disgusting bird. If hunting alone caused extinction, dodos would have vanished within decades of first contact. Instead, they persisted for nearly a century after humans arrived. The real executioners were far smaller and more insidious. When Dutch colonists established permanent settlements in 1638, they brought an army of invasive species: rats, pigs, dogs, cats, and macaque monkeys. These animals didn't need to hunt adult dodos to devastate the population. They simply ate the eggs and chicks that nested vulnerably on the forest floor. A dodo could survive a sailor's club, but it couldn't reproduce faster than rats could raid nests. This wasn't a dramatic extinction event, it was a slow-motion ecological strangulation. Dodos had evolved a reproductive strategy called co-selection. Few offspring, extended parental care, long lifespans. This works brilliantly in stable environments, but becomes catastrophic when egg predation rates skyrocket. Every nest raided was a reproductive investment lost. Every chick eaten represented a year of breeding wasted. The habitat destruction compounded this crisis exponentially. Dutch colonists cleared native ebony forests for timber and agriculture. Dodos weren't just losing their nests to predators. They were losing the forest structure that provided food and shelter. The birds that once thrived on native fruits and seeds suddenly faced a transformed landscape where their food sources dwindled as invasive plants took over. But perhaps the most devastating blow was one we rarely discuss: the introduction of invasive plant species that disrupted seed dispersal networks. Dodos had served as crucial seed dispersers for several native tree species, including the tambalacoke tree. Some scientists believe these tree seeds required passage through a dodo's digestive system to germinate properly. When dodos declined, so did forest regeneration, creating a feedback loop where habitat degraded even faster. The final dodo likely died sometime in the 1660s. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. Perhaps a lone bird watching rats devour its final egg, unable to comprehend why its ancient survival strategies had suddenly failed. This extinction patterned death by 1,000 cuts through invasive species and habitat. Destruction is what makes the dodo story so relevant today. It's the blueprint for modern biodiversity loss. We're currently witnessing this same catastrophic pattern replayed across thousands of species worldwide. Island ecosystems from Hawaii to New Zealand face identical threats: invasive predators, habitat fragmentation, and disrupted ecological relationships. The dodo's extinction teaches us that species don't disappear simply because we hunt them. They vanish when we unravel the complex ecological tapestry that sustains them. Every invasive rat, every cleared forest, every disrupted seed dispersal network represents another thread pulled from that tapestry. What makes this particularly tragic is that dodo extinction was preventable. Had colonists understood ecosystem dynamics, had they controlled invasive species, had they preserved habitat corridors, dodos might still waddle through Mauritius forests today. But in the 1600s, ecology hadn't been invented yet. Humans did understand that introducing a few rats could topple an evolutionary masterpiece millions of years in the making. We no longer have that excuse. Today, we understand invasive species dynamics, habitat requirements, and reproductive vulnerabilities. We know that island species are particularly extinction-prone. We have the knowledge and tools to prevent ecological collapses, yet species continue disappearing at rates potentially 1,000 times higher than background extinction rates, often following the exact pattern that doomed the dodo. The dodo didn't go extinct because it was stupid or defenseless. It went extinct because humans carelessly introduced incompatible elements into a finely balanced ecosystem, then stood by while that ecosystem unraveled. The real reason the dodo disappeared is the same reason species vanish today, not through dramatic destruction, but through thoughtless ecological disruption we could have prevented. That's the lesson written in the dodo's bones, and one we're still failing to learn.